What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Duke's Outfitters, where today I'm going to teach you guys all about how to catch and cook and clean blue crabs all on your own. We're out here in the 15-foot 4-inch Ginu high sider, and we're out here in Freeport at one of our favorite crabbing spots. We're super excited to be here because we pretty much always just slam the crabs here. It's pretty much always a home run, and we usually go home with like 30 of them by like lunchtime. So if you don't have a crabbing spot of your own, make sure you guys stick around, because the other thing I'm going to do in this video is reveal 11 different places in Texas that you can go crabbing all on your own with a kayak, canoe, and possibly on foot for I know some of the places. And yeah, so stay tuned, stick around for those hot spots, and yeah, thanks for watching Duke's Outfitters. Okay, so the first thing we want to go over is everything that you guys are going to need. And the very first thing is some sort of string or twine. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. It's just something that you're using to tie the chicken to. They do sell like crabbing twine, but honestly, it's no different than anything else. It's just basic, normal string. So the next thing you need, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm doing this while I'm talking about it, is a drumstick or a chicken neck. You need one of the two, just because oh, Dre missed a crab, but you need one of the two just because you need like a bone or something inside of the meat to tie your string onto. Otherwise the crab will just like cut the meat and take your chicken. So oh, I got another crab on. I'm gonna take care of that here in just a second though. So the other thing you're gonna need is a cooler, ice, and a towel. And I'll tell you guys what we're gonna do with that here in just a little bit, but just remember, you're gonna need those things. The other thing you're gonna need is a net, and the net's kind of specific as far as like what is best. You can use anything, but if you use a net that's big and heavy, or doesn't have like wide enough mesh or something like that, it can really affect how well you're able to actually swoop and like swipe underneath the crab. So ideally you want something about a foot wide, something like this, and something that's the rim is thin, so the rim can cut through the water relatively easily. And the thinner the mesh on the net, the better. This one's actually a little thick. I don't prefer it. I actually prefer one that's more like this. The crab's legs fall through here and they get real stuck in there, keeping them from escaping, and the water flows really greatly through a net that has holes this big. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is, where do you find crabs? I'm going to talk about specifically like locations. As promised, I'm going to give you guys 11 of them, but I'm also going to kind of just quickly tell you like what you're just looking out for in general. And you know, I got this information off a website called crystalbeachlocalnews.com, and you know, like I said, there's a bunch of places on here. I honestly haven't been to them all. Not sure I'm even pronouncing them all correctly, but what I will do for you guys is when I get home, in the description section, I'll go through and I'll find all these places. I'll put some Google Map links down there for you, so that way you can at least get to the boat ramp and figure it out from there. So but on crystalbeachlocalnews.com, it says this: the best places for crabbing will be any saltwater pass, slough, roadside drainage ditch, or canal found along the coastal areas. Prime crabbing can be found along the Sabine River at Sabine Pass, Bolivar Peninsula's Rollover Pass, Galveston's Seawolf Park, the Clear Lake, Kemah, Seabrook area, Texas City Dike, which I know I've heard the Texas City Dike's actually really awesome, but as we're going here, Dickinson Bayou, the salt marsh areas around Hitchcock along I-45, San Luis Pass. That's another one I've been to. You can go there on foot. You can just go underneath San Luis Pass and go crab all the little tide pools. Go check the tide pools at San Luis Pass. Cold Pass, Christmas Bay, and just about any of the Galveston, Bolivar Peninsula area. So go have at it, guys. That's 11 places, or I think it was 11. That's what I counted last night, but that's at least 11 places that you guys can go and do this exact same thing all on your own. So I'd like to take a quick second to tell you guys about just a couple of things that we sell. It's just kind of like merch for the YouTube channel and for our construction company. But we have these stickers. We got the Ginu sticker. Here's Dre eating ramen with her forceps. The Tia Gina sticker, and the one of Dre running from the T-Rex. So we've got these for sale on our Etsy page, but we also sell these hats. We just got these hats that came in yesterday. Those are available for purchase on our Etsy page as well. And we do have some really awesome shirts coming in. They've got this logo on the back, and then it's got Duke's Outfitters written in like a tattoo font on the front. And those will be available in the next probably 2 weeks. We're just waiting for those to come in the mail. So be sure to go check that out. The link for that will also be down below. And we appreciate anyone who buys anything. It's all the money that we get from that just goes straight back to the channel and straight back to us making more of these videos. So we very much appreciate it. Okay, so here's the information that all of you guys probably came here looking for, and this is how do we actually catch the crabs. And you know, it's not that hard. It's relatively simple. You get the chicken and the string like we mentioned earlier, tie them together, and you do the obvious thing here, which is throw the chicken out, keep it off the edge there a little bit. And so the oils and stuff off the chicken's going to attract the crab. It usually takes just a couple of minutes, but you'll know you have a crab because they'll grab the chicken and they'll start pulling on it, and this line will get tight and it'll start kind of pulling like that. And yeah, so that's how you know. And then so once we get a bite here, I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and show you guys how we scoop them up and we do all that. But just give us a minute, let us wait here, and let us find one. Okay, so we've got a crab on the line here. And what you do is you just slowly pull them in towards you until you get them right here close to you. And then you can either do this with the partner or by yourself, but you get the net and you lift up on the crab until you can see the crab and the chicken. Oh, he's further away than I thought. Let's see, lift him up. I see him. What a good crab for a demonstration. Oh my gosh, this thing is humongous. Oh, I got 2 of them. There's 2 of them. Oh, that's so awesome. And that's how you do it. You just scoop them up just like that. But that's it. That's all there is. You just pull them in, scoop them up just like that. How exciting. So I had to change the battery, and when I did, I got another crab. So we actually have 3 in here. I'm gonna try and get one of them out and show you guys some stuff on them without getting pinched. These are some good crabs too. These are some pretty big size. All right, come on. Whew. They're strong. Okay, so this is a male blue crab, and the parts that you want to measure, go ahead and show them the crab here, huh? So the parts that you want to measure that has to be 5 inches is from this tip here to this tip here. And I feel pretty good about this one, not gonna lie. If I let go, he's gonna be able to come across here and pinch me, but we're gonna go ahead and put this in the cooler just because I can eyeball 5 inches, and that's definitely 5. So show them all the ones we already got. Can you see them? Oh, look at them. They want their buddy. You want to try and keep them oriented vertically so you don't stress them out. Because, I mean, imagine if someone hung you upside down for 6 hours and threw you in the back of a truck bed and drove all the way home. You probably wouldn't make it. So, yeah, just make sure you keep them oriented upright. That'll help you keep your crabs alive longer.
You really try to make a break for it.
Nice. Pop over here, let's measure them for everybody.
So I was going to trap. He's champion.
Yeah, I'm just curious how big he actually is. I know he's of size. Keep popping back up there. There we go, that's perfect. He is...
He's not even like that big.
6 1/2 inches wide. I heard of someone having one 9 inches wide.
Really?
Yeah, that was like the record on that page. It was like someone had one that was 9 inches wide on the Carapace.
He's feisty. Oh my gosh. It's like super tangled.
Finally a passenger on my own boat. You're doing great, honey. I love you. Smile. Are you smiling?
Yeah.
Wave. All right, so you made it home, got your crabs here. There was one thing that I didn't tell y'all, that I meant to tell you guys, and that's about keeping the ice in the cooler and keeping the crabs alive, okay? So we've got our Arctic cooler. I know I told you guys you need 3 things, right? You need the cooler, the ice, and a towel. The first thing, the cooler, go ahead, show them in here. Obviously to keep the crabs and stuff in, right? But the important part, I'm gonna see if I can get in here without getting chomped by one of these guys. They're gonna wake up pretty quick, but you get the ice. Here we have ice packs from our HelloFresh meal, but get the ice, fill the cooler about halfway up, and then you put the rag over the top, and that keeps the crabs from getting too cold in the ice. The other thing you wanna make sure that you do is you wanna make sure you pull out the drain plug from the cooler. This allows all the water to come out of the cooler and drain out of the cooler and not build up as the ice melts. The reason for this is to make sure that the crabs aren't sitting in that cold ice water, and that cold ice water doesn't get up and soak up into the towel and end up freezing the crabs. So yeah, that was the one thing I forgot to tell you guys out there, is you really want to make sure that you do that, because that's the best way to keep your crabs alive. So other than that, we are about to put some water in here. The first step to cooking these crabs is what's called purging the crabs. And typically, like, it's like what you would do with crawfish, except for I don't use salt, I just use regular water. And when you purge the crawfish, I'm actually gonna grab the sprayer water. So when you purge the crabs, it's kind of the same thing with you know, the drain plug. You want to make sure that drain plug's open until you get all of the ice melted. Again, just so you don't freeze the crabs and kill them with too much ice. So let me get these big ice packs out. Okay. Ooh, he was pretty close to one there, wasn't he? So we're gonna spray all the ice, melt the ice. I'm gonna get this big chunk of ice out of there. Let's see. Melt all the ice. Really, I probably should have melted the ice before I took out the towel, but we're about to boil them. They're here and they're alive now, so they'll be okay in a few minutes, even if they die. So some of you guys might be wondering, what is purging? Why do you do it, or whatever? And I'm gonna show you something really cool here. So what purging is you're filling it up with fresh water, and you're letting the crabs cycle water through their bodies and clean out some of just the impurities and the gross stuff and the sediment and the dirt and all that other types of stuff that they pick up off of the ocean floor. But what's really cool is when you fill this thing up with water, these crabs start running water through their gills, through their mouth, and you can see it just flowing out of their mouths. And I'm gonna see if I can find, I'm gonna find the best one here for this. So I want you guys to look right here by this crab's face. You can see this water here moving around his mouth. That's the water that he's just pumping through his body, just circulating. And that's what is, that process right there is why we are doing this in the first place. That crab is filtering out all the salt, all the dirt, all of the impurities from the bottom of the ocean floor. Oh, and cleaning his little teeth and moving his little mandibules around there for us on camera. But yeah, that's why we're doing this, and that's what purging crabs are. So you let them sit for an hour. Let them sit for an hour and boil your water, get your water prepared while they're sitting. And yeah, don't skip this step though, seriously. It really makes a difference. So So we've got a male crab over here. We're gonna come into the garage, try and get away from that loud boiler. But I wanted to show you guys what the bottom side of a male crab looks like. If you can see, do you mind pointing for me, honey? I can't reach over there.
Yeah.
His elongated, narrow male situation there. So the female situation will look much more like a V. Can you draw the shape there on her belly? It'll be much wider out there, and they will also have red claws. The males will have either these white claws, or they'll have these nice blue claws out here, or the nice blue out here, but they won't really have the red on the ends of their claws here. So crabs are in a family of what's called decapods, and decapods mean that they have 10 appendages. So they've got 2 claw arms, they've got 3 what's called walking legs, which are these little pointy legs, and then they've got 2 swimmer legs, which are these back 2 little paddles here, which they use to actually swim around, usually on the surface of the water, but they can swim. I mean, in deep water, you can see crabs swimming 30 feet of water on the surface. So crabs are very good swimmers, they're very good walkers, and they're very good collectors with these big claws. And so a fun fact about these claws, I'm not sure if it's the same claw every time, but I do know that one claw is used for crushing, which appears to be this one, which will have more dull, wider little bumps on his claw, and the other one is made for cutting, and they'll have these big serrations inside of the claw. So he'll grab with this claw, and then he'll use this one to slice whatever it is. In this case, it was chicken, and then he brings the food to his mouth, and here you can see his little mouth. These little parts here that he has moving in and out, these are called mandibule. So his mandibles are here in his mouth, and they're basically like little hands that come out and just collect the food and push the food into his mouth. So these are the big ones that bring the food to his face, and then the mandibles are the ones right here that bring the food into his actual little mouth where he can eat. This top outer shell here, this is called the carapace. And that is what you measure. As I said earlier, this is what you measure to figure out if the crab is big enough. Okay guys, so I'm about to drain the water from purging the crabs, but I wanted to stop and take a second to show you guys the water, to show you what it is you're trying to purge out of the crabs in the first place. So let's take a look. So this water was completely clean, and it was just fresh water out of the hose, and you can see just all the dirt and the stuff floating on the top, and we saw some little twigs and sticks and stuff that were amongst the crabs, and it's just it's a good idea to go ahead and just go ahead and do it. It takes an hour. It's not that long. So yeah. So I'm gonna turn this down for a second while I'm talking to you guys here. But the water is boiling. The crabs have been purged. Take this off here. These guys are very alive, which is exciting. They're not always this spunky. Oh, crab ball. All right, watch out. Oh man, oh man. Woo. We got 2 more. Oh, and they're feisty. 3 more, and come on. Okay. All right, guys, so when you toss these guys in here, you want to boil them with 0 seasoning, nothing, just hot water. You want to boil them for 6 minutes. What you're doing here is you're just pre-cooking these crabs before we put them on the grill. So you're just getting them just cooked enough so we can shell the crabs, clean out all of the innards out of the crabs, clean out all the nasty gunk. If you've ever just had straight boiled crabs, you know what I'm talking about. All the heart and the lungs and all that stuff. We're fixing to remove it once we're done with this, and then you just season them and grill them. So I'm gonna show you guys that in just a sec. We're gonna let these boil, and then I'll show you that one. Okay, so it's been 6 minutes, and our crabs are pre-cooked. You want to immediately remove them because they'll keep cooking, you know, if they sit in that hot water. So immediately remove them. And I like to strain them with the water hose just a little bit, just to help them cool off. usually crabbing, you got to get up early, you're tired, you're trying to get this whole thing taken care of, and you want to cook the crabs when you first get home just so they don't die. So this kind of just helps speed everything up, you know, helps cool them off. I'll show you guys here in just a second what it is to clean one of these guys. Well, all right guys, they've cooled down. I'm going to show you guys how to pick one of these things apart and get it ready for stuffing. So the first thing you need to do is remove his manhood here, and then if you use your thumb, put it on the back of this little swimmer leg here or here, just depending on which hand you're holding it in, and then you use your other hand, grab the shell from right here where you just removed his manhood, and lift up, push down with your thumb, pull back with your other thumb, and throw away that whole shell. So this is all of the material inside that we don't want to continue cooking inside of the crab, and we definitely don't want it there whenever the crab's fully prepared. So what I just did here was remove some of the gills. Here's a couple more of them. You want to be absolutely sure you do not eat these. I know they look like, you know, yummy little chunks of meat, but they're not. They will make you very sick. That's what the crab uses to filter out his just the nasty stuff down there in the bottom. That's what the crab was filtering out when we were purging the crabs just a minute ago. So you can imagine how nasty they are. But so you remove the gills, I like to remove his mandibules and all that. So remove those, and then the easy part to this whole thing is you get the water hose. Do you mind backing up just a little bit? Nope, still stay on my hands. Just give it a little bit of, there you go. So you get the water hose and just spray all this stuff out. Kind of get your finger in there, encourage some of it to remove itself. But once you do that, what you are left with here, that's crab meat. That's crab meat. Back in there, that's all crab meat inside of these little, each one of these is a little cavity that has muscles that controls each one of these legs. So there's 10 of them in there because they're the decapods, remember? So there's 10 little cavities just full of meat. Yummy little snacks. So we're gonna put some Old Bay and some garlic in here in just a minute, and then we're gonna grill these guys. So yeah, that's all you do. I'll do one more for you guys, the last one. Rip the gills, pull the guts, rip off the mandibles. I'm no biologist, but I enjoy learning. All right, let's see. Get all the gills, all the material out of the middle there. Shake it out. Looks pretty good. Get that off, and you're good to go. So just like that, 12 crabs. Oh, we lost a couple of claws, but hey, let's go season them. Okay, so this is even more simple than actually catching the crab. So all you do, get some Old Bay, sprinkle it into each one of the little body cavities, okay? I'm not gonna do them all, I'm just gonna do these couple here just to show you, and then I'll come back and do it all. So once you do that, you get some minced garlic, and forgive me, I'm gonna stick my fingers in this jar. We're using the whole jar today, so, you know, whatever. But you get some minced garlic, just put it down in there. Get a little bit of the juice in there too, because that was a little bit of a dry scoop. But you just want, oh, that actually got in that other one there. There you go. But you just want to get some in there for the flavor. It will, you'll end up not eating all of it, you know. It'll, when you crack it open, it'll come out, but the juices and a lot of the garlic will still stay with the meat. So that's it. That's all you do. We're gonna put it on the grill once I get done with this, but that's it. That's prep. That's it. Okay, guys, so you've got your crabs seasoned. Everything's ready to go. It's actually the next day for us. We took these crabs over to my sister's house just to we had to bring something over here for them anyways, and we wanted to share the crabs, so kill 2 stone birds at one time, and yeah, just make a little party out of it. That's life, right? Life's just a party. So all you do is turn your entire grill onto low heat, and then stack your crabs in here just like this. And all you got to do is grill them for 6 to 8 minutes. And I'll show you what you're looking for here once it's actually going on, but you'll be able to see inside of these body cavities a little bit, and you'll be able to see the water kind of bubbling. And that's how you'll know that your crabs are ready, because you'll see the fluids inside of here and coming off of the garlic and everything inside the body cavity. You'll see it boiling. So yeah, we're gonna throw these on here, and I'll get y'all right back whenever it's boiling. Okay, so here is a perfect example of what I was talking about with the, you can see like right over here on this crab, and right here there's a little bit of bubbles going on and a little bit of bubbling going on inside of there, like the juices are boiling. Once it's to that point, it's pretty much ready to go. You just got to kind of use your judgment. You don't want to overcook them too much because the shells will get hard and brittle and shatter when you crack them, and get all the little like pieces in your meat. So you definitely don't want that. So these guys are just about good. I'm gonna pull them off and then I'll show y'all how to eat them. So we are gonna sit here at my niece's dining table while I show you guys how to clean one of these crabs. Okay. All right, so go ahead and show my hands here, hon. So the very first thing you wanna do, got it? There you go. So the very first thing you wanna do is take the crab body, position it away from yourself with your palms against the belly, and break the whole crab body in half. So I'm gonna set this side, I'm gonna set that one aside because it's the same process on both sides. Clean out some of these little bits here. Okay, so you've got, like I was saying earlier, you've got crab meat inside of each one of these little legs here. And sometimes with the little swimmer claw, you can pull on it and get that whole chunk of meat out. Oh, so today we were not so lucky. We just got a little bit, but we're gonna pull this little bit of meat off and set it aside here, set the crab aside. So me personally, some people like to eat the meat as they go. I kind of like to dig a big bit of it out, pile it up, and then eat it all at one time. Just kind of save the treat, you know? So that's how you get the first one out, and then you just go through and you just dig it out of each one. You kind of have to explore to see like where the different holes are for each one, but you'll figure it out as you go. So we got that meat set aside. Let me show you guys how to do the big claws here. So I like to pull it off, set the body aside. Now don't forget guys, there is more meat in that body. I'm not gonna sit here and pull the whole entire thing apart for you. So the next thing you need is this little clamper tool here. You can get these tools on Amazon. Let me show you here, there you go. So you just clamp it around. This tool is made with a hole here so it does not crush your meat. And you just, I like to crush it once here and then once down there. Kind of splits everything for you. Put the trash aside. And you just break it to where it comes off like that. Pick some of the little pieces of the shell off, but that's a good piece of meat there, and all of that meat right there, that's a big chunk of meat. And you just break it apart. All right. And then I've got some butter. Gonna dip it in some butter. I've got some seasoning. Dip it in some seasoning. And that is just absolutely delicious. Oh my gosh, that's actually so good. That's probably the best time I've ever cooked them. But yeah guys, make sure if you get into this that you get these little tools. This little tool with the little fork at the end here, it's got like a little scooper at the back. Probably your best friend. It's gonna really help you to dig. My mouth is watering, it's so good. That's funny, but it's gonna help you dig into the bodies of the crabs and get all of the meat out. It really should come out pretty clean. And yeah, that's all there is to it. I know that was a lot of information. I really appreciate it if you stuck with us this long. So if you guys like this video, please go hit the like button. If you didn't, go hit the dislike button. I'd just like to know what you think. Also, go down in the comments, let me know what you think. Let me know what your recipe is for cooking crabs, because I sure love crabs. So I'd love to learn a new way to cook them. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch y'all next time on another episode of Duke's Outfitters. We did this claw, but I didn't show y'all that you can also do like his little bicep here. You can do the same thing with this tool on his little bicep, so don't miss that meat, okay? Okay, that's the last thing for sure this time. Thank you so much, guys. All right, 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. That's much, much better. I'm really glad we did that twice.
That's awesome.